I was in my classroom of 8th grade, and a teacher was felicitating all the toppers of the class, which happened to be all girls, and I was at the rank third. So during the same time, same little program in the class, one boy stood up and said, "Teacher, if all girls top the class in academics every time, then why are most of the CEOs of big companies, leader of political parties, men?" And he said that men are more passionate and know how to work in real life and not just on papers. Even though teachers didn't particularly agree with him, she had no answer and just ended up telling him to sit down. But it did hurt me, working hard whole year just to listen from some wannabe boy that I won't be able to make it big in future. Few years went by. Not that I cried on this incident, but about all time I ruminated about it and still didn't have any answer for the question. And sometimes I thought maybe he was correct. But one fine morning, which for me is 12 a.m. in afternoon, my dad sent me a short clip on WhatsApp. It was a clip from someone's TED talk I didn't knew at first. But as soon as I watched the video, I'm not even kidding, I was in tears and just wanted to hug my dad, but he wasn't home at that time. I always imagined if I ever become some famous person in future and someone decided to make a movie on my life, this will be some exaggerated emotional turning point of my life. Movies are supposed to be exaggerated, right? So coming to the video, I searched more about it and here's what it had. It was experience of an Indian American lawyer and a politician, Reshma Saujani, where she talked about her experience of standing in Congress elections. She played safe all the years before taking up like safer roles like fundraiser, organizer. But one day she decided to run an election and break the status quo, which she unfortunately ended up losing. But the video wasn't about failure or what she learned from it, but it was about a realization that first time ever in 33 years of her life, she did something which was truly brave. She didn't worry about being perfect. And it's true that women tend to choose the field they know they are perfect in, and they are told to avoid risks. I always observed my mom and relatives indirectly tell me to choose the field which is safer for women, even if it has less growth opportunities or I don't have any interest in those fields at all. We are told to smile, pretty play, safe. But boys, on the other hand, are taught to play rough, swing high, go to the football field, get bruised, get drenched in mud, get injured. So by the time they are adults, whether while negotiating for the raise or even asking someone on a date, they are habituated to take risks. Rejection is seen as a stepping stone for growth. In Silicon Valley, no one takes you seriously if you don't have at least 2 failed startups. In other words, we are raising our girls to be perfect, and we are raising our boys to be brave. The bravery deficit is why women are underrepresented in STEM, in C-suits, and in boardrooms. In one survey of Carol Dweck, she looked at how bright 5th graders handled an assignment that was too difficult to them. She found that bright girls were quick to give up. Bright boys, on the other side, found the difficult material to be a challenge. They found it energizing. Why is it happening at 5th grade, where a girl routinely outperformed boys in every class, including science and maths? So it's not a question of ability. The difference is how boys and girls approach a challenge. And it doesn't end in 5th grade. An HP report said that men will apply for a job if they meet only 60% of the qualification, but women will apply for a job only if they meet 100% of the qualification. And it's not about lack of confidence. It's evidence that women have been socialized to aspire to perfection. And socialization of perfection has caused us to take less risks in our career. Reshma told one of the experience of her friend who is a professor at University of Columbia and teaches Java. He told that when a guy is struggling with assignment, they'll come in and say, "Professor, there is something wrong in my code." The girls will come in and say, Professor, there is something wrong in me. And I just felt it. All the time during maths class, I'm able to solve half the question, but never had the guts to tell there is something wrong in my process. But always felt there is something wrong in me. Whereas my male friend, who scored same marks as of mine, had all the guts to stand up and tell wrong answer in front of the class. Do you all remember we had that age question in algebra where we are given variables and constants and then asked to find age? He had all the confidence to stand up and say, Ma'am, age of Sam's dad is -5 years. Because that's what my answer is. Even if whole class laughed on it, how the hell someone's age is gonna be -5? He will raise his hand again and keep saying answers till it's correct. And I used to feel I can never do this. I would rather say I don't have ability to solve it. We should know that every cloud has a silver lining and taking risk is a part of it. There are a lot of girls like me who need to be told about this, to take the necessary risk and be brave. You'll feel bad for your failure for few days, few months, but it will be much better than regret of never attempting. Thank you.
So, my speaker for today is Gauri. Uh, and just like Ritesh, I'm dividing the evaluation into two parts. First, I will talk about what good parts of her speech, and then go to what could have been better. Uh, Starting with the good part, I'd like to congratulate you that the topic that you would strategically selected was very good, and I could see the passion in your delivery that was very close to your heart, and I am sure that the audience also felt the same. You could connect with the audience. I would like to congratulate you on the part that you used both the word and the idiom of the day. Oh, again, it was a well drafted speech with good, very personalized experience, which made it, I mean, did not make it sound like you were trying to lecture the audience, but actually connect by giving your own personal account of the issue and a women's perspective to the speech. Uh, you attempted to add emphasis through your hand gestures, and there was an attempt of adding humor by stating how a kid in your class said some wrong answers, or how 12 a.m. is your morning time. Then there was of course primary research and secondary research in this speech, which was required for this project. uh, Things that you could have done better in this speech is that I believe that the objective of the project could have been dealt in a little better manner. For instance, the primary research that you did, I believe that's your own class experience where all the three uh, toppers were girls, and that that could you could have elaborated on it, that where these girls are at present, so that you could give like a percentage on how they have improved or how the cases. The secondary aspect of the data, you had taken 1980s US report, which was kind of not relatable for the audience, because you could have gone for an Indian or a UN report, which was more closer to your current data. The Well, also, I would like to give emphasis on the part that while giving online speech, you could have like stood back, use your whole body to give emphasis. The emphasis would have been better in that aspect. Looking at the camera instead of the screen would have given a perspective, given a uh, at least made it seem like you are looking at the audience. That's one thing. Overall, I feel the while the speech was well drafted, um, I think these improvements will definitely add value to it. And I will suggest that next time you go ahead and give a speech in person at the center. Over to you,